All right. Hello, everyone. So this is the 116 Summit brushless converted from the brush version. So this video is basically to show everyone, because I had the same problem. I read in forums and no one could give me a solution. It was basically an alignment problem sometimes when your car is going, your truck is going straight at a slow speed, it would go straight, but as soon as you hit the throttle, it will tend to, some cars, like your car may tend to pull towards the left or pull towards the right, and sometimes this only happens, when you have it at full throttle, and then when you try to mess with the steering trim, then it would go straight at high speeds. Then at slow speeds, it would pull. You know what I mean? So it's just a bad alignment problem. And then so the forums tell you, some of the experts tell you to, check your suspension. I checked mine. Those were fine. I mean, this is the new truck. It still did it. So basically, it's not the center diff. It's nothing to do with the engine, or the motor, or the transmission, or the the drive shaft, or whatever it's called. Not the servos either. I put in 2 servos because I thought it would correct that problem. Obviously, it wasn't the servo's fault, but 2 servos actually does keep it straighter during like 40 miles per hour run. So but anyways, this is how you fix it. Briefly, when your car, let's see here, right now it's kind of towed in. So when your truck goes straight, what's happening is, of course, the front 2 wheels are going to control how how straight your car is going to go, and your steering and everything's in the front. But the rear tires are actually pretty important too, because this is going to pull your rear wheels are going to pull most of the weight of the car. I know it's 4-wheel drive, but I mean, if you hold one wheel, you can see that the other wheels still spin perfectly fine. So usually what that translates to is these wheels will not be powerful enough to pull, and it'll just transfer the power to the back, and then your car will pull off and do wheelies because there's more power in the back. That makes sense? So when your car accelerates, what tends to happen is your truck will kind of bend down, because there's so much force being exerted to drive your car that this end will actually tilt down. You see that in a lot of your trucks. When you pull off, you see this effect, right? So when that occurs, you can see that the angles of the wheel changes. You see that? So now it's facing kind of out here, and now you can see that the angle kind of bends in this way. See? So you have to make sure that these are both aligned correctly when you're doing that. So what I'm saying is that you should use your where is that thing? You should use that wrench looking piece that it comes with your Traxxas. It's the medium sized one, and you're gonna adjust the camber, which is, sorry, the wheels are kind of dirty, but you could see it right there. So let me see if I can get a closer look. See? There we go. So that hexagonal shaped nut, and there's 2 of them, one on the top, one on the bottom. So the difference is, maybe you guys already know this, just in case there's someone like me out there. The one on the top controls, depending on which way you're turning. If you're turning clockwise, what's going to happen is this angle, the angle of the wheel, will tilt to the left. And if you do it, if you screw counterclockwise, or unscrew it, I guess, this wheel will kind of bend to the right. The camber on the bottom, the nut on the bottom, what that does is when you tighten it, your wheel will shift to the right like this. So so basically your wheel's like this. It will go like this. If you tighten it, if you loosen it, it will flatten out like this. So your wheel kind of just flattens out. I hope that makes sense. So top nut, if you counterclockwise, it would go like this. If it's clockwise, it would shift in like this. If you're using the camber at the bottom, if you tighten it or clockwise, your wheel will go like this. And if it's counterclockwise at the bottom nut, then it would go like this. So basically, that's how you adjust it. And you can adjust it so that as you're pulling it down, let's put some force on here and make sure that both sides look even. So they're both pointing the right direction. Make sure that they even at the when you hit full throttle, your truck is going to sink to the bottom. It's going to bottom out, and basically you want to make sure that these angles are similar, or close to perfect as possible. Mine looks like it's a little kind of outlined towards the left, so I'm gonna fix that in a little bit. But basically, that's how you fix this problem. It's mainly the back wheel. So because if your wheels on the back are kind of pointing to the left, let's say like this is kind of a line, both of the wheels are pointing to the left just a tad bit, during if you look at it like this, it probably won't make a difference, but check it. I mean, when you push it down, these wheels may be pointed toward, so this angle is pointed to the left more, so that when you're at full speed, even though the front of your car controls which way the car is going to go, this back tire has influence due to the extra torque and force that it has going forward. So if your wheels are pointing to the left, your car will do this kind of. It will run, but it will push to the left, and then it will make your car tilt to one side, and that's how at full speed you get that one directional, or like it pulls to one side predominantly. So if both of them are straight, then and the front wheels are straight, then obviously when you pull forward, when you pull the throttle, it's going to go straight. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. It fixed my problem. It has nothing to do with the diff. It has nothing to do with the motor. It mostly has to do with the wheels and possibly the shocks if they're worn out. So if these are worn out, then let's say one is worn out and one is not, then you could have different angles on one wheel. But I mean, if you don't see any grease leaking out of them, I don't see any grease. This is probably just dirt through mud racing and stuff like that. But it's fine. And make sure that these two, like how many screws you can turn this actually. So make sure that these are aligned as well, so you have the same suspension throughout your runs. And this has tremendously helped. I mean, it still does happen. You're gonna have to align it, but hey, it's a car. That's what happens when you hit bumps and stuff. I mean, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have messed up wheels, especially after a crash. I wouldn't be surprised if you had to fix it. I mean, fix the angles of the wheels. I mean, okay, that was kind of a lengthy review. I hope you guys, I hope it was beneficial. And if you have any problems, then just send me a message. Bye bye.